Elric Reese, Lord of Ebenezer's Keep, in the eastern folded lands of the Ebon Reach, the Bastard Clanlands hadn't expected to see a lone rider entering his keep on an eldritch beast with great speed, jump off it and slay 3 elite guards of the keep with a too large degree of ease. To Elric's shock and disbelief, the monstrous beast attacked the chief of his staff, his Lieutenant Al-Sarif of the King's Blood Clan, the Hellsonborn of the East. Bastard Clanlands that had once been the proud free-styled folk of the city of Darakim until they met defeat against Clan Frosthand of Balasan, who'd moved through the badlands of Eldon in their pursuit of new land that Dalakos would do, as Eldon was too poor in minerals such as blue ardirium and gleaming green viridium, which the Dalakos were rich in. So the scum fought their way from Balasan through Eldon to Darakim, which they reached one misty morn. They entered the city, went right for the castle. Daramith and slew King Morin whose troops were baffled by the sudden doom wrath battle against the barbarian shrooming bastard. Berserkers nervous, disturbed, forgetting their purpose, forgetting to alert the rest of the guard when they observed the first murders in the castle yard. The Frosthand elite squad storming towards them with fierce hearts and a rear guard made out of clerics of the Archon of Ice, Wind and Stride, Velas, who had been slain by his from hell retreat right. By high noon they'd reached the inner keep of the castle. One of their mages had cast a flashing spell which dazzled the elite guardians inside. The Darakosian knights filled the rest of the castle's staff with mind-rending fright. King Morin had entered the fight, but so had Azoth Ice Rune, the maddened king of midnight, leader of Clan Frosthand, whose grim face was full of malice and spite, and delighted the cruel and brutal fight they were in. A nightmare ensued. The true-minded fighters of Clan Frosthand spelled doom for the castle's defenders, and Azoth Ice Rune centered in a Morin the king's massive two-hander, and disposed of 2 blue ghosts. The elite warriors, Clan Frosthand, the most dreaded of their warriors, but even more skilled was Azoth Ice Rune, who soon went in for the kill. Elric Reese had what occurred in a sill. Raal had fallen to Luthric Ash. He'd been filled with gloom and dread at the prospect of the doom herald's continuous conquest that would soon reach the Bastard Clanlands properly before new moon, the month of doom. But before he knew it, doom had reached him sooner in the form of the Scoon, would cast a spell flume from the courtyard to his rooms. Balcony Elric Reese assumed the madman was on the side of Luthric Ash, some form of Doom Herald sworn. Doom boom. How had one man stormed Ebenezer's keep with such ease alone? Elric Reese had reached for the freezer, his frost-bladed falcon, which had been gifted to him by the Frosthand chief of Albion, Droth, the so-called King of Frost, who had usurped the throne of ice from Midnight King Azoth. Ice Rune double-crossed him and fought the grim lord of the Frosthand horde, who had years ago caused the downfall of Dalakos, and Albion Droth had won, and a new era less grim and our journey had begun. In the horde of the Frosthand clan in the east of the folded Bastard Clanlands, Elric Reese held the free soft hide and decided to smile as if he had a chance against a man whose eyes gleamed with iron will, focus, power and purpose, sheer determination. Really, Elric was nervous. He had seen the quick murders the man had committed in the courtyard, but would not be defeated. Forget it, the man cast a spell and 3 hounds of hell appeared behind Elric, who started to yell, "Get at me, whelps, I will slay every one of you with my frostblade in the waning sun's race before the dust settles. Over the land you will be slaughtered with metal wrought in frost that will freeze your fiery hearts." Then Gaun produced the dark shard of Raal Baaz, shattered heart and cast the dark spell which caused dark purple lightning to strike Lord Elric, who lost his sword and his balance, and the dogs jumped upon him, started gnashing and gnawing, leaving gashes, abhorrent wounds. The battle lost. His soul was about to leave his body, soon to be his corpse without doubt. Then all of a sudden came a shout from behind his assailant. "Well fought, Gaun Gravelborn, now meet the agent of an organization you didn't know had you marked for death, and I am their weapon for that task. I've been on your trail for the last 2 weeks, all the way from Elacor. I've passed the monsters, guards and brigands you have slain on your path, in your hatred and wrath which you disguise beneath the mask of heroism. Marking my words, marking them well, this quest will be the last one to open the hell gate with the dark side of the heart of Raal Baaz that you had. Who am I, Largos Feldragonne, mage of the Alaporn Isle in the Bodra Spile Cove? You didn't cast a spell which filled the chamber with smoke, which gave Elric some hope. He grabbed the freezer, got up and chose to attack his near reaper of his soul, the one the new arrival had called Gaun Gravelborn. Wasn't that a man in the north, a slayer from the Ebon Reach, who had grown up in a sill, the student of Elric, now the Lord of Green Symbol Keep in the wilds between Kess and Talazar, where Emperor the Green Dragon ruled. He had heard the stories, of course, of how Gaun Gravelborn and slayed errant foe. He had never lost a battle before. He rushed in and switched back. The strike was true. The frostblade went through his rack, and his enchanted chainmail to the other side. Out through his chest he was filled with dread, couldn't hide. When he died, the fright of death was written in his eyes. Then Gaun Gravelborn cast the last spell, which caused pride, light to flash and blind the eyes of both Elric and Largos Feldragonne. Then grabbed the potion of Nargis brew, which caused his grave wound to heal. He then jumped down from the balcony in the blue light of the Acid Moonz. As dusk had now fallen on Ebenezer's keep, he entered the front door and hurried towards the entrance to the lower floors beneath, where the Hellgate awaited. He caused the corridor to cave in behind him, delved even deeper, then found the chamber of the Hellgate. He'd reached the primary objective of his quest. He produced the dark hard shard of Raal Baaz again, and introduced himself to the gods. This ever bash will be fought between the Doom Herald and Khul Morzul, the Hell Lord, who was once before brought grim onslaught on the north, on Ebon Reach and on the lands of Sorrowshire coast, before he was defeated by those heroes that rose up against him, who chose to forfeit their lives to end the grim strife he had ignited in the north, and hopefully blight the blight he too had caused by using a weapon called the light of Thyrsis and Thirst Aldrashar, the lady of might, of righteousness, radiance and justice, the wife of Khul. Arc light the blast will shatter the cruel Fiend Khul Morzul and the heroes as well, who were gone for good from Thal Drazark, while Khul Morzul fell down to the lowest pits of hell to begin life anew as a fiend of the lowest rank, but filled with a most exciting dream that would frighten all mortals if they had ever seen but a glimpse of it, in rising up through the hells to achieve ascension to the lands of the living again, where he would battle the mortals, and this time he would win, bring an end to the era of humans, bring doom like they had never seen before. Beneath the two Acid Moonz, Largos entered the room and Elric followed behind. Gaun Gravelborn, put down the shard or you'll die by my blade. That is right, move away from the gate to hell, throw the shot to me, my good mate. I'm afraid it's too late. The only way we can stop the Herald of Doom is with a new grim onslaught. The ever-bash will be fought between Luthric Ash and Khul Morzul, and one will die and the other soon pass, as his wounds will be severe enough to give us a chance to slay whoever of them survives the death dance. No, throw the shot of Raal Baaz from your hand. Together we will face Luthric Ash, make a stand. You won't be able to overcome, we don't need some evil demon from the past who has probably become much stronger than was before when he last tried to conquer Thal Drazark. This time we don't have the light of Thyrsis. He died in that same blast that ended him last time he tried in the past to conquer Thal Drazark. This time he'll at last achieve his goal of ending all our kind in his wrath. Think fast, Gaun said, as through a simile of the shard, a grenade which exploded in Largos' hands with a blast. He then held up the true shard and cast the forbidden spell to open the gate to the lair of hell, where Khul Morzul dwelt, and the Archdevil soon appeared in the room to bring Thal Drazark doom. Under the two Acid Moonz, consumed by the thought of ending humankind for good, and followed by a horde of devilkin spawned since she last had a go in the ever-bash of Agalon, the mass-shattered globe, which was shadowed and cold beneath the two Acid Moonz, and the waning dying sun Berenlith being consumed by Nihil of the night worm. Khul Morzul laughed and said, "Thank you, Gaun Gravelborn, a pleasure to have you open the Hellgate as I had calculated with the magical foresight of math emulated. To make your acquaintance, I'm the Khul Morzul, the dreadful and ancient patient cause of your doom, your pending final doom, the end of your kind this time. For real, I see it in your eyes, your tremendous fright, and your pending ending, the demise of your entire kind. Every nation, every tribe, to my endless delight, I will quench the light and bring endless night, never-ending doom on the Acid Moonz. It's only right."